Tim Burton is one of the world's most known film directors. He is famous for his gothic style and quirky characters. Tim Burton's wonderfully weird world was first introduced to the film fans in 1989 with the release of Batman. Let's go back in time and see where Tim Burton first started. Burton is the #1 fan of horror legend Vincent Price. Burton loved his work that much that he even made a short film after him called Vincent. Price was famous for his Dracula movies in 1985 and the voice of Michael Jackson's music video, Thriller. Tim Burton made Pee-wee's Big Adventures in 1985 after he was noticed for one of his earlier films, Frankenweenie. This wasn't one of his most successful films, but Tim Burton didn't give up there.
Right now, I've got to go to work.
In 1989, Tim Burton directed the very first Batman movie. This was one of the most successful movies in the 90s. This was when Tim Burton was first ever properly discovered by the public and started showing his true talents.
I think what I like about the Batman film is what I like about all of Burton's creations, if you put it like that. You know, it's honest, it's the idea of Batman as being the good guy, and more back to what the comics were originally designed for. He's dark, he's on the edge. I think that was reflected in Burton himself.
Those are your hands. Those are your hands.
Edward Scissorhands was one of Tim Burton's first films with Johnny Depp. Edward Scissorhands was the starting point for Tim Burton's quirky oddball characters that appeared in his films later on.
Edward Scissorhands is a good film. It's got Johnny Depp in it, like he's a really quirky character, and it's like the start of Tim Burton's creative films.
In 1993, Tim Burton's first proper animated film was released. This film was the starting point for Tim Burton's extremely successful career. This film made him well known to a lot more viewers as the film was so successful.
Nightmare Before Christmas, it's a really good film for sort of like the time that it is released, where it's a Christmassy film and it's released around Christmas. It's also a completely different style of film where it's an animation, uses stop motion. It's something which most directors don't experiment with, but it's nice to see that Tim Burton experimented with it.
Tim Burton directed Planet of the Apes. This was the first film that starred Helena Bonham Carter in. 2001, Helena began her current relationship with Tim Burton, who she met during the filming of Planet of the Apes. Burton has taken to casting Helena in his films, including Big Fish, Corpse Bride, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Sweeney Todd, Alice in Wonderland and Dark Shadows.
Have you ever seen a single person going into that factory?
There must be people working there.
The only thing that comes out of that place is the candy.
2005 was a big year for Tim Burton. He made 2 very successful films. He remade Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that starred Johnny Depp and Helena, and also made his second animated film, Corpse Bride, that was extremely successful, once again reusing Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. 2007 saw the release of Sweeney Todd. Once again, Tim Burton has added his strange touch to things to make it his own, and yes, Johnny Depp does show his singing side along with Helena.
I thought Sweeney Todd was a good film. It had good effects in it, good characters, and all the characters sung, so like Johnny Depp sung, like it was really entertaining.
2010, Alice in Wonderland was Burton's remake of a classic Disney and changed it into a very dark and gloomy movie that can be quite frightening. By this point, Tim Burton can get away with it.
Anywhere. I play the Mad Hatter. He's mad. He's unpredictable.
Stop that.
You see instantly what he's feeling, like a mood ring. His emotions are very, very close to the surface. He's a fascinating character. Being able to play the Mad Hatter and breathe life into that was a dream come true.
Dark Shadows is his latest film that is to be released on the 11th of May 2012.
I've been sort of attracted to horror films and things like that even as a very young kid.
I said, Tim, we should do a vampire movie together.
I could see right away that he had a passion for it.
Nosferatu with Max Schreck was one of my favorites. Dracula, of course, with Bela Lugosi.
Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
Christopher Lee certainly is one of the greats.
Well, there we have it, the life of Tim Burton. I wonder what crazy dark film that he will release next. Well, we will have to wait and see.